to another episode of Inside Recreation, where we talk about all the great things happening here at Montgomery County Recreation. I'm your host, Carmen Berrios-Martinez, and I'm so excited to talk about Maryland Senior Olympics today. Specifically, we have an amazing story from one of our athletes, Jazzlyn Flores. And so I'm so excited to have Jazzlyn here with us today, as well as Stacy Sigler, who is supervisor on our senior teams and administers the Maryland Senior Olympics program. Guys, thanks for being here.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah.
All right, Jazzlyn, let's get into this because your story is so inspiring. So you recently started to participate in Maryland Senior Olympics.
Yeah.
How the heck did you get involved in Senior Olympics?
So we have to go back to Director Robin Riley, who I've known, I won't say how long. I've known a long time.
Yeah.
And so I was looking at one of her feeds for social medias, and she was posting the swimming event. So it would be 2023. And I was like, wow, that looks like something kind of interesting. I honestly had never heard of the Maryland Senior Olympics. I'm so sorry.
Okay.
But I had not. And so I was like, okay. So I looked into it, and it was sadly right after I started looking into it, I had my first major surgery that year. And then got into training everything, then had to have another surgery. About a month before the event, I contacted Stacy here. And I'm like, look, I'm thinking about doing this, but I just had my second surgery. And she's like, well, are you allowed to swim? I'm like, yeah, I'm all cleared. I can swim. And she's like, go for it. Do it. Don't worry about it. She's like, you're going to be so happy you did this, but if you don't do it, you're going to regret not doing it. And I'm like, yeah. She's like, no, the people are really nice there. She's like, all the competitors are really nice. And I must admit, she was 100% right. And I'm so glad I did it. It was just a lot of fun. I met a couple of people there that I didn't know anybody. And there was this one gentleman who was also doing, I think it was his first also. And so he's like, okay, let's stick together. And so when it came time, we cheered each other on and everything. And it was very nice experience.
So what was it when you saw the post and you saw what was it that called your attention?
So with my medical issues, every single doctor I go to, they're like, Jazz, you really need to start exercising. And part of my thing is that as I said before in another question answer time, was up until about a year ago, I was a complete hermit. And it wasn't because of COVID. I had practiced long before COVID started. I didn't really want to go out. My husband would ask me, hey, let's go to the park or something. I'm like, no, I'm good in my room. I'm good here. And when I saw Robin's post, as I enjoy swimming because I did it as a kid, but also it's one of those sports that I can do without having too many issues. Mm-hmm. The dry land and gravity and I do not mix at all. But in the pool, I'm a mermaid. I'm very comfortable. And, unless the pool has a lot of chlorine that day or something, or something else, I'm usually okay. Even if I go for a half hour, sometimes I can spend longer, but I decided, let me get in the pool and try this and see what happens. And if it had been basketball, no. If it had been even, tennis or something else or running, there's no way I would have even given it a second thought because it was something that was in my lane that I could handle with my medical issues.
But that's a great part about recreation, right? Mm-hmm. Is that there's something for everyone. So regardless of your age or your ability level, you can find the right activity for you. Mm-hmm. Stacy, remind us a little bit about what Maryland Senior Olympics is and why is Montgomery County Recreation talking about it?
Right. So to Jazzlyn's point, we try to have something for everybody. Montgomery County Recreation is the host agency for the Maryland Senior Olympics. Maryland Senior Olympics is for those 50 and older. You compete within your own 5-year age group, so it's not really intimidating. And we have over 30 sports. So we really do try to have something for everyone. And we might even be thinking about adding more. So, we're always trying to keep people coming back, trying new things, or sticking with what they're comfortable with. Sometimes it is what you used to do as a child or what you did maybe before you started raising a family. And then you're just trying to get back to it for yourself. Maybe you've never done it before. And this is an opportunity for you to come and see what you're made of.
What are some of the types of activities that you guys have?
Sure. We have team sports and then we have individual sports. So obviously we have swimming, which Jazzlyn's speaking about, but we also have bocce. We have cornhole. We have basketball skills in addition to basketball teams, softball team, volleyball. We have bowling, you name it. I mean, we offer quite a bit. We have athletes that try us out for the first time. Every year we get a whole bunch of new athletes, and the whole idea is the athlete experience and get them coming back and maybe trying something different or just improving the one that they're competing in currently.
It's competitive, right? So not just within the state, but nationally?
Yes, it sure is. The Maryland Senior Olympics are part of the National Senior Games Association. And so we feed that National Senior Games event. Every other year is a qualifying year. So right now we're in a non-qualifying year. We hold all of our events just like we would. And it's just maybe a little bit more relaxed, a little bit more fun, not quite as competitive. So a good opportunity to come give it a try, but there's no advancement. Whereas in an even year, it's what we call a qualifying year to try to reach those national senior games, which are taking place this summer in Des Moines. So we have 520 Maryland athletes headed off to Des Moines in a couple of weeks.
Wonderful.
Yeah, so we're really excited about that. And then next year, they'll be trying to qualify for Tulsa. So yeah, it's kind of a revolving thing. And some people come every non-qualifying year because they don't really care about the national stuff, and that's completely fine. And then others, come every year regardless.
And the activities are not just in Montgomery County, right? They're all throughout the state of Maryland
correct.
as the host agency.
That's correct. They're statewide. We're in a lot of other counties as well. We're still grateful for Montgomery County facilities, obviously, and be able to hold them here
right.
With our excellent staff and facilities. But sometimes it's not possible, and we go to other counties that can provide for us.
Got it. So Jazzlyn, okay, so you decide that you're going to do this. So you see
Yes.
a post that Robin put up there, like, I could totally do this. Did you tell your family? What did they think?
No. I didn't tell anybody. Because once you tell someone you have a goal, then you're kind of committed to that goal, or you look a little
100%.
stupid, right? Not stupid, silly, maybe, I don't know. But so when my husband, would then ask, well, do you want to come with me? I would start saying yes. Or I'd say, honey, I'm going to go to the pool this morning. He's like, okay. And so I started just timing myself in the water, seeing how fast I was going. I'm like, all right, I'm not that far off some of the times from the year before. And this is before I knew that I needed the first surgery. I was like, all right, I'm gonna tell my family. So I don't know if I told my kids first or my husband first. I can't remember. But the reaction I got was like, yes, Mom, go for it. Yeah. Not, are you out of your mind? You haven't done anything for 10 years? You haven't even gotten out of bed. You're going to try and do the Olympics. And of course, growing up in sports, as you were saying to somebody who had a childhood sport, your goal was always like, oh, I do want to be an Olympian. And I was actually coached by an Olympian when I was much younger. So that was in me for a long time. And I was like, well, it's a senior Olympics, but I'm still counting it as Olympics. It's Olympics to me.
Absolutely.
I'm an Olympian.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what happened. So when I told my family, they just became so supportive. They told their friends. They have some really close, their best friends. And everyone was like, you can do this. You can do this. Let me know what you need. We'll come to the meet. We'll support you. And they did all throughout the whole way. But I still didn't tell, outside the bubble. I didn't tell people because I was just like, but it's so nice. So once I got over the fear factor of it, of saying, yes, I am going to do this, and whether I win and we joked a lot about me coming in last place. So you're going to come cheer my mom to be last place. And they're like, no problem. Just finish. And my husband was the same way. He's like, don't disqualify. Don't swim in the wrong lane. Just make sure you touch the wall right. And then I did actually very well.
I was going to say, so how did you do?
So I got 2 silver, and
nice.
I forgot to bring my medals. I had 2 silver medals, and I think it was a 4th and a 5th maybe or something. So I surprised myself at how well I did. It was very satisfying, very rewarding to feel like I accomplished something. I accomplished this goal that I set out to do. And that's why it really resonated with me and stayed with me.
What advice would you give folks who are maybe listening now that go like, oh, I would love to get back into something, or I didn't even know that existed? What would you tell them?
It was fun because I was at the Needwood by the archery. I'd taken a long path through walking. I ended up by the archery. And there was a senior gentleman there. And I asked him, oh, are you practicing for the Senior Olympics? Because I know they have archery.
He's like, thank you.
What? I'm like, oh, I'm not good enough. I'm like, wait a minute. And I opened my phone up to the Senior Olympic page, got the information on what he needed, what the qualifying is for archery. And I explained to him, he's like, I can do that. I'm like, see, you can do that.
Yeah.
So I would say to anyone, whatever you can do comfortably, like it's like for me, it's swimming. If it's archery for you, if it's walking, if it's the cornhole, whatever it is that you might like, and you can focus as a goal and go with that. One of the things that when I was at the swim meet, my biggest fear was actually the diving blocks, because I hadn't been on a diving block in 40, 50 years. And they only give you a few minutes at the beginning to practice. So I practiced it with the gentleman I told you about before. And then one of the first events, there was this 91-year-old man who got up on the blocks and dove in. And I'm like, okay. But I thought, I'm going to fall off. I'm going to lose my balance. I'm going to do a belly flop. And at that point, I was like, well, if the 90-year-old man can do it, I can do it. And that's what I want to say to anyone. The fear of, don't let the fear of your failure or your skill level hold you back from doing something. And knowing that you're going to do this, and you plan it out on a calendar or whatever. I have this number of weeks before my event, and plan it out. That's what I did. So I knew, okay, I had to be swimming X number of laps by this time or something. I think is the best thing to do. My advice for someone is definitely, as Stacy said before, you'll regret not doing it.
Yeah.
And more than you regret doing it.
Such good life advice in general, right? I'm pretty sure I've used those lines with my with my kids. Senior Olympics is so different, though, in that it's so supportive, right? I've been to some of the events, and it's really not about coming in first place. Nope. It is about camaraderie and trying something new, trying something maybe hard. And there are people, like you said, of all ability levels there, right? I mean, you've got centenarians who are incredible. Yes. You've got folks in wheelchairs, right? And then you've got your younger seniors, right? Your 50-year-olds. I'll be there soon.
They're not accepting their senior yet, but yes, they're there.
Just to clarify for everybody, I am a baby boomer. So I am a little older than I might look. I get that question a lot when I'm at the senior centers. So like, but you're not old enough to be that.
They want ID you.
And I am.
They do. They look at my ID. I'm like, here you go.
Yeah. It's the only time it's nice to be carded again, right?
Yeah.
So Jazzlyn, you don't just participate in Maryland Senior Olympics. You're a true Montgomery County Recreation participant. What is it about our programmings that keeps you coming back?
I had been away from Montgomery County Rec for a while. My kids grew up. They had gone to college, moved away from home. So there was that kind of gap. And I didn't really, my only experience with seniors was the Holiday Center, because I used to go vote. That was our voting center. I remember my grandmother lived to be 106. She lived on her own at 99, over right by the White Oak Center. And she used to say, the ride-on bus is for old people. And that's kind of what I thought about the senior centers. They're for old people, and I'm not old.
Right.
So, but once again, going with, I want to get in better shape. With my disabilities, I have a lot of balance issues. And I noticed in the program, there's Balance Boom. And I'm like, what is that about? Is that going to be a bunch of old people on walkers? What? So I went to the class. My husband came with me the first day to kind of check it out. And the instructor, who's named Jeremy, was there. He had some of the best music playing. And there were people of all ages. Some who do the exercises in the chair, and some who get out of the chair and do the exercises as well. And then he has a balance mat. And I'm like, wow, this is actually kind of fun. I did this. So I started looking at other things. So I've taken the not so challenging, supposedly, bike class. It wasn't too challenging. Jeremy also teaches a cardio drumming class, which is so cool. So just to try and explain, you take a big laundry tub and then a big balance ball and put the ball on top of the laundry tub. And then he gives you drumsticks, and you are then drumming on the big ball. And once again, he has great music. And I was like, this is exercise. I'm having too much fun. So that's why I started. I don't want to say like a rec hopper, but I look at the program, I don't know, what the
newsletter,
whatever, and say, okay, what might I be interested in? And then try and plot out what classes are where. And for me, I don't mind if it's in White Oak, I'll go to White Oak. If it's at the one by Holy Cross,
Schwein House,
which I went there for the first time last month, I think. I'll go there because they're offering another balance class there that I'm taking. And I went to the one in Burtonsville, which is another woman's name. I can't remember her name. Praisner, yes. Mm-hmm. And the new downtown Silver Spring one. So I've been all over, and they each have their own vibe and personality. So I'd say if you do decide to go and you're like, oh, I don't think I fit in with this crowd, don't give up. Try a different location and see if you're able to. Try a different location and see if you fit in with that crowd more.
Yeah, every center is so unique, and like you said, it has its own little vibe. So, if one center didn't feel right to you, there are, 30 other centers that you can look at. And you're right, our senior programming is designed for all those ability levels, right? So you've got your very active seniors who,
they have a Zumba class, and they keep trying
intensity
to get me into Zumba. The other participants, they're also very funny. So they're like, oh, you need to come on Mondays to Zumba. I'm like, no, I don't need to come on Mondays to Zumba. You'll be picking me off the floor.
All right, we're going to get you into Zumba. Stacy, tell me a little bit about the variety of senior programming that the department offers.
Well, as you said, for all levels, we offer a lot of exercise classes, obviously, from balance, seated yoga, regular yoga, the Zumbas, of course, Tai Chi. We have a lot of Tai Chi and some stretching. So we focus on all areas of exercise. In addition to that, we have a lot of educational programs, seminars, speakers, special events, special programs. We highlight like World Elder Abuse Awareness Day and have functions for that. So we just try to bring a lot of a variety to people to go join the centers to participate in. And if we don't have it, we're always willing to consider it. You just have a chat with the center director and see what can be done. Of course, if it's somebody willing to volunteer their time to help us with it, why not? If we have the space, we'll definitely look into it. So we want the Jazzlyns of the world to keep coming back and to come try us for the first time. So keep it fresh.
One of the things I want to that we haven't mentioned that was a big consideration for me is a number of the senior classes are free.
Yes.
And I don't think people realize that. You can take a yoga class and don't need to pay to go to a gym. And the gym is also free now.
Right, we have the free membership.
So you can do the free membership at the gym. You can do the free membership. Now the pools are different, but the rec centers. So the classes that I've been talking about, the balance boom, the drumming, there's bone builders I know is very popular. There's no fee for them. So that was a huge consideration for me on a tight budget as everyone else is. Knowing that, okay, I can take these classes and it's not costing me $90, $100 that it would, or more that it would cost on the outside. And I don't know if enough people are aware that there's so many classes that are available and the lectures that they offer and things that are available for free.
Yeah, no, that's a great point that you brought up. We try to make sure that these classes are, available to everyone. And for our senior community, often the financial cost is the barrier to entry. So a lot of our programming is free, if not low cost. And then we have financial aid available that folks can qualify for and use if they needed to offset the cost of a class.
And we have transportation available too to most of our centers also, Monday through Friday.
So if you're not driving anymore, we will take we will get you there.
There's really no you took away all the excuse barriers that I had.
Yeah.
You must go to every single session. No, you don't. If the teachers, or if you explain to the teacher in advance, I have some issues or I can't come every day, most of them will cooperate with you. So, okay, that got taken away. The cost barrier got taken away. Well, now you're telling me the transportation issue is also, because there's days I can't drive.
Yeah.
So, I think that's one of the things is why it got me in and got me in so much within a year. Because a year ago, it was 2020, September 2023 was the first time I even thought about it. So now we're almost on 2 years.
Right.
But I wasn't doing these classes. I was just swimming. I wasn't doing everything that I'm doing now. So
how has your quality of life changed as, you've gone from a hermit at home, like you described yourself, to this like unbelievably outgoing you're on a podcast, you're testifying in front of council, right?
Right.
Like that is not a hermit. So you've made a huge transition.
I have made a huge transition. And so I definitely wanted to stipulate that medical wise, I'm not much better. Yeah, I've lost a lot of weight. So that's helped with my cholesterol and other things, but my main issues are still there. But as I mentioned at the testimony, the rec center and all the different classes, it gives you hope to know that, it's different being miserable and disabled, which is what I pretty much was, versus happy and disabled and having that hope of like, okay, I feel really crappy today. Let me take some medication and see, I'll just go I'll start the class. And if I don't like it, if I can't do it, I'll just leave. And if you leave early, they're like, okay, come back next week. Not, why are you leaving early? There's no judgment. It's a judgment-free zone.
Absolutely.
It really is. And they talk about that a lot, especially with, okay, don't go out and buy a lot of fitness gear, a t-shirt and shorts or pants, whatever you have. They're not judging you on, oh, you're not wearing the latest style and fashion. There's no judgment there at all.
We are judgment
and that's
free,
so that's a lot. And I do now, when my husband asks, I'm going to go to the soccer field, you want to come? I now say, I'll say 80% of the time. I'll say, like when it's hot like this, no. But I'll now go. And he packs a lawn chair for me and I can sit in the lawn chair, where before I would not go. When my daughter recently got married and everyone was concerned about me walking down the aisle and not falling over, the balance classes and everything. And I was also really concerned, do I want to be in the wedding? Do I want, I was so nervous about it. Having the classes and being out with people and I would say my other daughter says that it's a safe third space is the term she uses. And it is a safe space for me. And it lets me, okay, let me work on being able to walk from here to there so that I don't stumble and fall. And asking an instructor, what's the best way? And they're like, okay, you're walking the wrong way. Put your heel down first. Okay, put my heel down first. Okay. So that on the quality of life has changed completely. Yes, I still have sometimes like a week where I might, be in the house the whole week. I'll never go out. I won't go shopping, won't do anything. And then I always think, okay, Tuesday's my next class. Let's try and go for Tuesday. And if I don't make Tuesday, okay, Wednesday. Let's try. So I try and build more classes than I might be able to take, just so I can try and keep going. Don't give up. Because it's so easy to slide backwards. And I know how easy it would be for me to be a hermit again and just give up especially when you're in pain or you're not doing well or something, or the heat. So I think that's probably the biggest changes is so medically, not so much. I was really hoping for more, but emotionally, spiritually, mindset has definitely improved a lot.
Yeah. Well, we're so proud of you and we're all rooting for you.
Thank you.
And we'll be rooting for you again at Senior Olympics this year. You're going back?
I'm not going to go to I qualified for nationals, but that was a bit much for me.
Okay.
We did talk about
it. Baby steps.
She tried to convince me to go. And I'm like, no, I'm not ready for that yet. Because that's really out of my comfort zone. That's not even in my home area shell. But I am thinking about doing a different swimming event. So I tried it for the first time 2 weeks ago, I think it was, a week ago. And I actually did all the laps. I was like, okay. So then I timed myself and I'm like a minute slower than everybody else. But I'm like, I don't care. Can I finish it without being disqualified? Right. So you'll have to come to the swimming event and see, do I actually do this?
We'll be in the Jazzlyn section rooting you on for sure. Stacy, if someone is listening to this and they want to participate or volunteer, because we need a lot of volunteers to make this happen, how can they get involved?
Absolutely. You just reach out to us, definitely through Montgomery County Recreation's website. You can get all of Maryland Senior Olympics information. They have their own website. Give us a call, send us an email. We're going to convince you to come join us to either participate, because the motto is to participate is to win. Yes. It really is about doing it for yourself and your health and for whatever reasons you want to do it for yourself. And then absolutely welcome volunteers to come out and cheer everybody on and help us with some of the workload. And definitely spectators. I mean, spectators are always welcome. It's a good way to kind of get an idea of what it's all about and decide if you want to do it for yourself or come volunteer. Absolutely come see us and cheer everybody on.
Yeah, I encourage everyone to head out as a spectator. some of the most inspiring events that I have been to with recreation are Maryland Senior Olympic events. They are amazing, and you get to meet great people like
Very
Jazzlyn.
lucky.
Jazzlyn, thank you so much for sharing your story with
Thank
us
you
today.
for asking me. I really hope I inspire even one person to just say, let me try something. Let me try. Either try a class at recreation or pick an event with Senior Olympics. If I have a very low bar, one person. If one person is motivated to try it, that means the world to me, that my story has helped someone to make that effort to do what I did and like get out more and get back into living life and not have life taking over you.
Yeah, well, I think you're going to inspire a lot more than just one person. And Stacy, thank you so much for all you do for Maryland Senior Olympics and for the department. And thank you guys for joining us today. We'll see you back here next month for the next edition of Inside Recreation.
This podcast is brought to you by County Cable Montgomery, your source for news and information from the Montgomery County government. Connect with us via cable, Facebook, Instagram, or YouTube by searching for County Cable MoCo.